All of this technology available at our fingertips. It's great, but is the juice worth the squeeze? Let's see if we can start to answer that one. Crew, let's ranch it up. Good day, everyone, and thanks for riding with us on this all-new episode of the Ranch It Up Radio Show. I'm Jeff Tigger Earhart. A big thank you goes out to our partners, Ranch Channel. Check out ranchchannel.com. Transova Genetics, Axiota Animal Health, bringing us Multi-Min and Lactapro, Stockman's Livestock Exchange, the American Gelbvieh Association, Imogene Ingredients and Pharmatan, Westway Feed Products, Medora Boot and Western Wear, Allied Genetic Resources and Allied Feeding Partners, LivestockMarket.com, EquineMarket.com, AuctionTime.com, the Tri-State Livestock News, RFD TV, Wrangler, and this fine radio station. We'll get into the updates and market recaps and the What's Your Beef contest at the end of the program. Right now, let's just dive right into this one. A couple weeks ago, we started talking about IVF, in vitro fertilization. It was just an introduction, really. So let's dive in the weeds. And the big question is this really for me? Well, that is kind of a loaded question in and of itself. Just like when artificial insemination came along, how many said, that's just for the seed stock guys. The guys raising bulls, it's not for me. And how many are implementing some sort of AI program today? But some aren't, and that is the point. Identifying what works, what doesn't, what can work better. Think about it this way. Think about our cows as a factory and what we're trying to produce as efficiently as possible. Now, I can say that all of this wonderful technology, especially when it comes to reproduction, is the perfect fit. But the fact is, as technology changes, so does how we manage our operations. It doesn't matter what segment that we're in. So let's dive in the weeds on this one. IVF, in vitro fertilization. Brad Brundage, a client development manager with Transova Genetics, joins us.
I've noticed a change in what seems to really be the buzz in the industry right now. A few years ago, it was really kind of based on, I think, production management schemes, but now it's really gotten dialed in, and I think technology is really coming to the forefront. For whatever reason, I have my speculation on why that is, and I think a lot of producers, be them seed stock guys, be it commercial producers, are really dialing in on what works and what doesn't work for them. And ultimately what their market is, right? Who's buying their product. So if you're a seed stock guy, it's who are the customers in my area? Are they terminal? Are they this? Are they retaining ownership? How are they marketing those calves? So I think what they're really doing is finding out, number one, who their audience is. Number two, who their clients are. Number three, who's paying the bills. And we've seen, given that, we've seen really dialing in with technology, really fine-tuning what we're doing. It's really an interesting concept versus if you go back 25 years where holistic management was being preached. Now it's completely different. So now enter in IVF, right? I mean, dialing this thing down to the absolute level. People get nervous of that, I think. The same way that when we first AI'd 50 years ago, I think people get nervous about this technology because they say, well, geez, Brad, I'm going to spend all of this money. What is the risk versus the reward? Is the juice worth the squeeze?
Sure. Wow, that you nailed it. Yeah, you hit on several key points there, kind of in the evolution of IVF embryo production and its utilization in both beef and dairy herds, right? I think it's obvious. We're pretty familiar that it's been used on the elite stock, right? Whether that be show cattle or seed stock or, kind of EPD growth-driven animals or production-driven animals. And it's continued to evolve, obviously. And I like to think of it in in terms of a lot of, things in our industry as a tool, right? We can have tools that are more equipment-based, some that are more management-based or nutritional designs. And I think of it as a combination of a technology and a service tool that can be utilized, right? And I think how you described producers getting in touch with their local market or just their market in general, it may not be local, maybe, nationwide, international, whatever. But I really enjoy helping clients and being involved in projects where producers are driven to know their market and the intricacies of their market. And IVF and AI, any advanced reproductive technology, is really a tool to produce more of what you can sell. Right? And not just sell, but maybe garner more market share in your space or a higher premium and make better animals, right? So a lot of times I talk with producers about the opportunity cost of every cow in their operation, whether it be a dairy cow, a beef cow, a operation in the Midwest or coast to coast, South America, whatever it may be, whatever your environment is. I look at the opportunity cost that what that cow has, right? And prior to IVF, or maybe the success of IVF, we were pretty limited with our options. You could produce a product that you sold locally at, say, a sale barn, or maybe you retained ownership in. Your genetic pool and the services to get that cow pregnant and put a calf on the ground are just exponentially expanded with IVF embryo production. Now the opportunity cost of that cow, or maybe the highest opportunity cost, maybe the lower end of your cows, can now be producing calves that rival your calves out of your best cow, right? Because of AI or embryo transfer and IVF embryo production. And so, to your question, and we ask ourselves this a lot designing embryo programs, is the juice worth the squeeze, right? In some cases, yes. But what I've found is if you don't know your market and what sells and what the premium product is in your space, it can sometimes feel daunting to take on an IVF embryo program, right? But if you get honed in on what those goals are, and if you know, all right, this product and this level of quality is what sells and what I can garner a premium for, then IVF embryo production is just mashing on the gas pedal and making more of those.
So really, we've got to do a little homework on the backside to really identify what is consistent that market. Not just we hit a home run this year and, or elephant hunting, however we want to say it. We really need to consistently know this is where we're driving, and it's using your terminology, that space that we can hit with a greater amount or possibility of success.
Sure. I think you nail it. Our founder, Dr. Faber, uses a phrase a lot as we're designing and looking at opportunities for Transova, and it's that analogy, skate to where the puck is going, right? We look at the national cow numbers right now and feeder calf prices, and it's it makes sense to, kind of strike while the iron's hot and produce what's selling now. But also look at the situation we're in and look at your environment and your situation, whether it be financially or resources wise, and do your best to research and figure out where is the puck going, right? What do I need to be doing today that's going to pay dividends 9 months from now, 2 years from now, right? And IVF embryo production is certainly one of those tools, right, that can help you really execute a plan to put yourself in a position to pay dividends, once that next calf.
It is time to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're talking more IVF technology. Is the juice worth the squeeze with Brad Brundage from Transova Genetics. Hey, keep it parked right here, the Ranch It Up Radio Show. We'll be back after this. It's time now to start adding value to those Gelbvieh and Balancer calves. The American Gelbvieh Association offers a wide variety of DNA tests and delivers its members and customers tools for success within the beef industry. You owe it to yourself by going to gelbvieh.org. Have y'all tried livestockmarket.com yet? We have updates each and every week brought to us by auctiontime.com. We're all familiar with that one. Try livestockmarket.com. And don't forget, for all your equine needs, head to equinemarket.com. Attention cattle producers. Boost your herd's trace mineral status with Axiota Animal Health's Multi-Min 90. This injectable solution delivers essential trace minerals known to support cattle health and reproduction. Don't settle for less when it comes to your herd health. Trust Axiota Animal Health to keep your cattle in prime condition. Visit your local supplier or veterinarian to learn more about Multi-Min 90. Multi-Min 90, because healthy cattle mean a healthy bottom line. RanchChannel.com, bull and heifer sales, products and services, events, even the markets. Check out RanchChannel.com. Use it. Y'all will love it. RanchChannel.com. Save it to your favorites on your phone. RanchChannel.com. Breeding season is here, and maybe you haven't made all of your decisions yet. Maybe you're fixing to AI some cows or some heifers. Turn to Allied Genetic Resources. Top quality semen from elite bulls. With over 50,000 head marketed annually, turn to Allied Genetic Resources.
Cattle battle.
Hey crew, welcome back to the Ranch It Up radio show, the most information packed into a 30-minute program that you can find. It's your all things ranching newscast, and so glad to be hanging out with y'all. Questions, comments, concerns, criticisms, it doesn't matter. Call or text 707-RANCH-20. That's 707-726-2420. Our email, ranchitupshow@gmail.com. And prowling around social media at Ranch It Up Show. We're back with Brad Brundage from Transova Genetics. We're talking IVF technology, in vitro fertilization. Is the juice worth the squeeze? Practicality of it.
My job, and you know this, is to be the yeah but guy. That's my job, is to find holes, to put you on the hot seat. That's what we do each and every week. Been doing it for 12 years now. Yeah, but how practical is this?
I think as we just step back and look at, beef and dairy production and all the leaps and bounds that have been made from a management standpoint, it is more practical today than it's ever been, and is continuously becoming more and more tangible for a lot of producers, right? And management, there's several fingers out there in the industry to help us better manage our cow herds, whether it be beef or dairy, right? And I think the most successful embryo programs are ones that not only know their cows, but have management plans and are honestly not afraid of the work, right? And as an industry, we're hardworking people, right? And so I think even though it may seem to you far-fetched to implement an embryo program today, I'm telling you there's probably producers out there that maybe aren't as well managed as your herd that are doing it. Right. It takes work and it takes effort and it takes collaboration with people that know their expertise, and know their business. But it's certainly tangible. Right. To kind of back engineer your question, or I guess to try to answer that, is that, if from a management standpoint, your goals include how few times you can see your cows in a year, and how little you can invest, right? Then that would probably be the only things that I would worry about you being successful with an ART program. We've been very fortunate to grow as Transova in various ways, right? And one of those are just, the black and white obvious of more embryos per year and, more employees than ever and more services offered than ever. And it's really fun to, sit and reflect on those achievements, but it's truly makes us most proud to know that those achievements are not possible if we're not consulting and helping make good decisions that lead to a profitable IVF operation, right? If we were to try to just sell as many embryos as possible, eventually there's going to be diminishing returns on that, because there may be situations where it's not a good investment for whatever reason a producer might have, right? And so I think you're exactly right. Just because it is cutting edge and, in my opinion, really cool, doesn't mean that it's going to solve all your problems and just all of a sudden make you all kinds of money. It's a tool, and I'll go back to that, right? And, whether it be business or designing an embryo program, a lot of my conversations and our conversations as TransOva with clients is that mentality of begin with the end in mind, right? So if we're going to invest additional money in this technology or this service, right, and I know, setting goals is sometimes a little overused, right? But truly, what's the end game here, right?
We got to have a roadmap, otherwise how do we know if we're getting there?
Exactly, yeah. I can think of examples. I've worked on several projects here recently putting terminal beef embryos into dairy cows, right? And
the beef on dairy is a big space. Yeah.
Yeah, big part of it. And that's an additional investment for those dairy producers, right? To buy a beef embryo versus a unit of beef semen, and to really study that investment strategy, right? And a lot of times with those producers, I'll say, I'm not sure that I would put that embryo in until I knew I had somebody that wanted to buy that calf, right? And so I think that is unique about TransOva, to take that approach or that mentality, right? There's a lot of producers that want to put those embryos in, but as TransOva, we partner with them to try to consult and advise that the way you're going to be the most happy with this embryo is if that calf gets more money and is a profitable investment for you, right? And so let's work on that. Let's work on that part.
So you mentioned strike while the iron is hot. Right now there's a special that's going on, and this is where I encourage, light up those phone lines on this one like a local radio DJ, right? Having a contest. From now, literally right now until September 30th, there's the opportunity for producers to literally get a $100 discount on an IVF program. What's that about?
Yeah, for sure. So, it's pretty self-explanatory as far as the discount goes, but there's some deeper meaning to that as this discount that we run in the fall, right? As TransOva, we're ag kids, we're farm kids, and we understand the seasonality and the importance of getting cows bred. And for those that don't know, you can produce IVF embryos on pregnant donors, typically up to about 100 days in the pregnancy. And we have a lot of producers that capitalize on being able to bank or make some embryos while their donor cows are pregnant. And in the fall here, as you mentioned, up until September 30th, we are running $100 off per procedure on pregnant donors.
There may be facilities that are close, literally right next door, and you had no idea.
That's right. Yeah. Like I mentioned, we've been very fortunate, in our growth and our success for clients. And so I would encourage anyone that you've known that's worked with TransOva, maybe done some business with TransOva, to reach out to them, ask them about their experience. And as you mentioned, locations, we are over 50 satellite locations now here in the U.S. And so if you're just totally unfamiliar, you could visit transova.com, and there's an easy kind of locator and list of our TransOva locations. In fact, there may be a farm, ranch, or vet clinic near you that's a TransOva satellite that you may be unaware of, right? And I would encourage you to reach out to them or any TransOva office to just ask questions and learn more. We're here to help.
Brad Brundage with TransOva Genetics, thank you so much for the time. Now, if you are even a bit curious, curiosity got the best of you, I encourage you all to give the team at TransOva a call. Pick their brains, get your questions answered, and remember that they have that special going on as we speak. You can find all the details at ranchchannel.com, or you can head to transova.com. Time for a quick break. When we come back, we're recapping the markets and the What's Your Beef Trivia Contest. Keep it tuned right here to the Ranch It Up Radio Show. At Transova Genetics, it's simple. Their mission is to provide opportunity and advantage through genetic acceleration. Sounds great, but what does it mean? That means using the latest technology to get your cow herd where you want it and where you need it as quickly and efficient as possible. So, from now until September 30th, any donor cow collected via IVF will receive a $100 discount. Genetics you need and money back in your pocket. To schedule an appointment or consultation, head to transova.com. For years now, I've been telling you all about Pharmatan from Imogene Ingredients. Well, it's time to make the change and add Pharmatan to your cow's diet, to your calf's diet. Get that boost in health and increase feed efficiency. It all starts with nutrition, so add Pharmatan.
Cattle market reports to various news stories. The Tri-State Livestock News covers it all. Check us out at tsln.com. Subscriptions or advertising, call Tracy Hawk at 406-951-3211. The Tri-State Livestock News, what ranchers read.
Want to add just a little bit of spice to your event, your customer appreciation supper, your banquet, your meeting?
Oh, yeah.
Well, bring in us. Beck and I as your keynote speakers, hosts, MCs, a host couple. We'll make them laugh, even cry tears of joy. Call us today. The best way to raise beef on pasture, on crop residue, or in a dry lot, it's Westway Feed Products. Westway liquid supplements support increased forage utilization, efficiency, convenience, and sustainability. Find your nearest rep by calling 800-800-7517 or head to westwayfeed.com on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and TikTok. Welcome back to the Ranch It Up Radio Show. It is that time in the program we check in with Kirk Donsbach, StoneX Financial Incorporated, recapping the markets from last week, going through the numbers. Kirk, I'm handing it over to you. Let's go through them numbers.
Good morning, Tigger, and all your listeners out there. As of Friday, August 16th, September feeder futures were at 239.05. That's down 2.25 on the week, with the CME feeder index down $3 at 246.71. That left the basis, or the difference, at a positive $3.93.5 versus August futures and positive $7.66 versus September futures. So futures are well under where cash is trading. October live cattle closed the week at 178.05. That's down 3.05 on the week, with cash trading 185 in the south and 190 to 191 in the north. That left the 5-area weighted average down $1.63 at 189.90. And the basis versus August futures at a positive $7.25. So also a pretty wide basis with expiration coming upon us. The weekly slaughter was 602,000 head. That's up 11,000 head versus last week and 15,000 head less than the same week last year. Choice boxes, the glowing part of this report today, closed the week at $317.45. That's up $4.74. So a very good week for the packer as boxes rallied and cash came down. December corn closed the week at $392.25. That's down 9.5 cents on the week. Seasonally, we are looking for a bottom in corn within the next 60 days.
Hey y'all, Mark Van Zee with equinemarket.com. Coming up this Wednesday, August 28th, we have our monthly online horse auction. Bidding opens at just $100, no reserves. All horses will sell. Featured lots include Top and Go Don, a red roan AQHA gelding. 2017, 15 hands high. He's done every aspect of ranch work. Great in the branding pen and on the trail. He's a good, honest horse from Rafter LF Cattle Company in El Dorado Springs, Missouri. Charles Roan Cow Pony, another red roan AQHA gelding. 2015 ranch gelding, solid built, used to check fences and move cows. He goes Western or English. He's great on the ground from Hidden Creek Farm in Ruckersville, Virginia. Who's Pretty Liz? A bay AQHA mare. She's a 2007 15-2. She's got cow sense like no other. She does it all from sorting to gathering. Big and stocky but quick on her feet from Karen Nichols. Futures Effort, a brown AQHA gelding. 2013 16-2. Beautiful, docile, retired from the track. Will make a great hunter jumper or barrel prospect from Circle M Farms in Seguin, Texas. Zippo's Little Docs, a sorrel AQHA mare, 2003. Very social and loving, kid safe, easy to catch, well-mannered, trail rides well or in company, and she's safe in traffic from La Chow Farms in Cookville, Tennessee. And Sparkles La Gran Verde, a dappled buckskin mare, 2001, 15 hands, up to date on everything, very gentle, been gathered in 2003, and they've done a little bit of the groundwork with her and a little bit of handling from Hanson Farms in Delta, Utah. So bidding opens at $100, and it's currently live, but all these horses are going to sell the morning of Wednesday, August 28th at 10 a.m. Central Time. You got a horse to sell? Regular online horse auctions, fourth Wednesday of every month, with hay sales every Wednesday on equinemarket.com and auctiontime.com.
I tip my hat to you, from one legend to another.
And now your What's Your Beef trivia question. Last week, what was the name of the bull that sold for $1.5 million from Schaff Angus Valley? The answer is SAV America. Remember him now? Congratulations goes out to Troy Thomas from South Dakota. You've got a swag package coming your way. Here is your What's Your Beef trivia question for this week, and y'all are going after a swag package. In fact, we're going to make this one geared for a little bit more towards the ladies. We'll throw in a Ranch It Up tank top and a Ranch It Up cap. All right, here we go. Your trivia question for today. We're looking at academia this time again. What was the first state to establish a college of agriculture? We will take the first correct answer. You can text us 707-RANCH20. Give us a call at 707-RANCH20 or email ranchitupshow@gmail.com. Good luck. And now that's going to wrap it up for today. A big thanks from our crew to yours. Brad Brundage with Transova Genetics, Kirk Donsbach, StoneX Financial Incorporated, and Mark Vanzi with equinemarket.com. A big thank you goes out to our partners ranchchannel.com, Transova Genetics, Axiota Animal Health, bringing you Multi-Min 90 and Lactopro, Stockman's Livestock Exchange, the American Gelbvieh Association, Imogene Ingredients, bringing you Pharmatan, Westway Feed Products, Medora Boot and Western Wear, Allied Genetic Resources and Allied Feeding Partners, Livestock Market, Equine Market, and AuctionTime.com, the Tri-State Livestock News, RFD TV, Wrangler, and this fine radio station. And crew, so glad y'all came with us one more time as we ranch it up. Be sure to follow along on Facebook at Ranch It Up Show. Our email is ranchitupshow@gmail.com. Call and text us 24/7 at 707-RANCH20. That's 707-726-2420. Spread the good word and join us again next week where it's always Tigger and Beck approved. Stay ranchy and ranch it up.